How you doing, everybody? My name is Crystal. Good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm in my flat in Rochester. Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 8:29 a.m.
So I've got up, and I'm not angry. I'm not angry now. I was angry yesterday because Yodel had delivered a parcel to me that was just in smithereens. It was smashed to bits. And when you say it's damaged in transit, Kent Police, yeah, I do understand things are damaged in transit. But when the parcel is actually, you can't even recognise what it is, it's deliberately been damaged and broken, that's damage, criminal damage, and the police are just useless. And that parcel was right underneath a camera, CCTV. Now, is it real CCTV where Hyde Housing are responsible for the CCTV cameras? There's 2 cameras in the hallway and there's 1 in the lift. I had a parcel stolen. I reported it to the police. They didn't do anything, even though there is CCTV footage in this building. Even when I say to the police, I've got evidence, I've got video footage, I've got some photographs, they're not interested. Now, this is deliberately leaving me in danger. Just deliberately. What is wrong with the police? We're not just talking parcel theft, parcel damage. We're talking being verbally abused in this building, sworn at by members of the public. The list goes on. Sexual assault, not even dealing with that. Not even going to have a word with the person that's committed these things against me. This is wrong. So I'm still waiting for PC Woodcraft. I've made a complaint against the police. A woman got on the phone to me a few weeks ago, said PC Woodcraft was going to sort it all out. I've heard nothing. It just makes me wonder who I'm actually talking to on my mobile phone. Are they the real police? Are they? Anyway, I've got up. Start of a brand new day. I'm not going to let that parcel that's been smashed to bits affect my day. The first thing I heard when I got up was dog barking. They've started all that again. There's a woman over there that leaves her balcony door open and lets her dog bark. And one over there as well. And it's usually whenever I walk past or I'm coming back and walking up the road. So they've started that business. And the thing that I remember is when my dad was alive, right, my father, and my dad drove me back home once in his red Toyota Starlet, and he drove around Rochester, the Ye Arrow pub, and they were all laughing. These people are mad. My father was abusing me. He was sexually abusing me. These people are mentally insane. They're mad. So the one time that my dad drove me back before he died, and he hated this place. He said it looked like a prison. And yeah, it is. It feels like prison as well. My mum got my dad to drive me back home, even knowing that he had cataracts, couldn't see, was on heart medication. She let my father drive me home. And he drove from Chatham, Durrell Gardens. He went all through Rochester, passing the Ye Old Arrow pub, where people were sat outside with their dogs in the pub's garden laughing as he was driving me past. He stopped outside and he dropped me off. He didn't come inside the flat. He never, my father Derek never came inside this flat at all. And the monsters knew what he was doing at my other flat. These monsters knew what he was doing because I believe my flat is, I know it sounds crazy and mad, I believe it's got spyware in it. Sean Clark, a guy that talked to me on a dating site, another one of them, who kept trying to get me to go into the bathroom to take my clothes off. And he was reported to the police as well, and they didn't do anything with him. He gave my photograph to a stranger without my permission. Sean Clark did. So God knows what's been going on and how far this crap has spread. That was Wales. He told me to go into the bathroom and take my clothes off, and he asked me for pictures. And next door's dog would start barking. It's like they knew it. I believe they're all involved in it. 100%. They're perverts. They're not only mentally ill, they're perverts. And you know how old I am. I'm 56. They won't leave me alone. They're sex pests. All of them. So, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So my dad called this place a prison. I quite agree with that. It is prison. I'm stuck in here with a pervert keep asking me for pictures on WhatsApp. Yesterday, they're mentally insane. They're a sexual deviant. They need locking up. They're sending me pictures of young men calling me mummy now. They're absolutely mental. I've got all the proof. It's been screenshotted. It's been written down in my journal. They follow me about. Some of them have hardly got any clothes on. I'm not interested. It's all right wearing shorts. I wear shorts. I mean, these people are purposely, I know what they're doing. And if you look up gang stalking on YouTube, there's a guy that specialises in helping people that have been gang stalked. And he talks about how these perverts use sex as a weapon. Sex as a weapon, right? They tease. That they deliberately, sex is a need. Like eating, drinking, sleeping, and they deliberately deprive you of it because it's used as a weapon. And I haven't had a relationship in 8 years because these people tease, they taunt, they take the mickey, they're sadistic pigs, they're horrible people. They make up fake profiles on dating sites. They pretend to be somebody else. And they say they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And you can be talking to them for 6 months. And they never appear because they're a lie. It's fake. They're liars. They're fakes. They don't even like themselves. They're ashamed of themselves. They're insecure about themselves. So they pretend to be other people. And if you go onto this guy's YouTube, you will see that I am not lying. He's been through it. Relationships, they withhold sex. They use it as a weapon. When I first moved into this property, I had builders. I can't explain it to you unless you've gone through it. I was stuck in this prison for over 3 years with unbelievable noise from builders, vehicles. It was like a construction site. I had builders peering in opposite my window, and I'd come out the shower and I would go to the window and see builders staring at me. And they are laughing at me on top of flats. And Charlie did assault me. And they were stood up there watching him do it. And women walking around the field giggling with their sunglasses on. When I was trying to get away from him. I do believe I was drugged. I went back to his place and his girlfriend was there, and she asked me if I would like a cup of tea, and Charlie went and made a cup of Earl Grey tea, and sometimes I would get a couple of biscuits. I wouldn't get a full meal, I'd get a couple of biscuits. And when I drank the tea, I'd feel sleepy, and like my arm went numb down the left side. And he took me for a walk on the field, and he started to touch me and I didn't want it. And a lot of women, when they've been sexually abused in the past, freeze and don't know what to do, and I didn't. And I know the police don't help me, and I know no one. I had no one to turn to. My mum is useless. She doesn't know what to do. So I just humoured him till I got off the field and I went back home. And the woman had money. The female, his partner, had money. And if she's not his partner, why is she living with him? Why is she buying all his food and buying all his clothes? Because that's what she's doing. And that time I didn't have much money, and I would go in the shop and get myself a Costa coffee, and then she'd go and spend £30-40 in there, and she told me that she'd given me all this about Charlie's this, Charlie's that, but she spent a load of money on him. I just think the pair of them were playing games with me. And I am literally trying to move out of here, and I'm not going to tell anyone where I'm going. And I'm just going to keep hard at it for months. And I do believe that people around this area, including people up this street, probably where Charlie lives, and even where my mum lives, have been going into my TikTok live streams. I believe that because I was sat on the balcony, it was last weekend, and people were laughing. They're not laughing now. I mean, they're not now. Just because I'm live streaming it, I'm not live streaming it anymore. I'm not interested in them. Another thing this guy that deals with gang stalking says is when you lose interest in them and you cut them off and don't communicate with them, I mean the stuff they get up to. They want you to notice them. I've had people farting at me, belching, coughing, walking at me half naked. It's disgusting. What is wrong with them? I go outside, I act completely normal, but they piss me off. I've got it on tape. This bloke coughed right behind my back 4 times. Just to try and get attention out of me. Laughing is another one. You turn around and look where it's coming from, don't you? You turn around to see where it's coming from. Some people, when they think the laughter is directed at them, will confront who's doing it. But I just can't be bothered. They're just idiots. Absolute mental idiots. Why would a number of people, there must be about 50, 60 of them, crave attention from me? Including old people. There was an old woman up there last night with a black dog. They don't like you, they think you're ugly, they call you names, yet they can't leave you alone. They do things in front of you to get your attention. I'm not going to say. I had a man take his dick out and piss on the field right in front of me. Took his dick out. His partner was with him, and he just took his penis out and he pissed on the field in front of me while his partner was there. They've got no inhibitions. They just don't give a shit, and they know the police won't do fuck all. So they're filthy, absolutely filthy. And I just walked past it. Note it down in my journal, because you know it might be relevant one day. Anyway, I went outside, didn't I, after my parcel had been broken to smithereens. I was spoken rudely by a 101 police call operator, a man. Really nice bloke, telling me not, you know, it was broken in transit. I have made a complaint about that guy. He didn't even give me his name or anything. He didn't ask me mine, he just cut me off. He cut me off like I'm some piece of shit. Police again. But I didn't do anything bad outside. I was pissed off. I was fed up. And the reason I was going smile for the camera was I was getting anxious and overwhelmed. And I'd rather say smile for the camera. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I was doing. Sometimes I sing. That woman at the top of the flats on the corner opposite me over that way, she lets her dog bark at me, and I just went, "Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof," and made a joke of it. I'm not their dog and I'm not their property. I'm a human being. And they've lost control and they're desperate. They're desperate, absolutely desperate. Desperate dogs. They've lost their toy. And my mum, I don't speak to her now. The last time I spoke to her, she said, you know, she couldn't even say I'm with Sue. She just, So I thought, right, that's it. That is it. Toxic people right out my life. I feel better. I'm getting on with my life. No, I haven't got a load of money where I can go to places, but I can keep myself safe. I can keep myself in peace, and I can stay away from these mentally unwell, unstable, unfit for purpose creeps. They're not fit for their job. The police are supposed to support people, and they're not. They're not. They're working for a king that doesn't care, a king that's more interested in money than he is his own people. You know? Do you know King Charles is worth £500 million and he gets 14 million a year? 14 million pounds a year. And these twats are picking on me. They're picking on me because I buy myself a few bits of food each week. They smashed my digital scales up that were worth £8.89. And may I say thank you to the eBay seller who's refunded my money already. because I sent pictures of the smashed up digital scales to the eBay seller, and it's been refunded already, because they can claim from the courier, which was Yodel. Yodel delivered that. So whoever thought they've broken the scales, ha 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 ha, I've got my money refunded, and I'm going to buy some mechanical scales. And if another parcel, right, arrives damaged, broken, I would do, it depends how broken it is, but I'm going to do the same thing until someone does something about this. Why should people live in fear in their own homes from a bunch of gang stalking, mentally ill, unstable, I don't know what they are, they're not people, they act like dogs in a pack. So Yodel's involved in it, people working for Yodel. I just have to go out with pepper spray, my alarm, and just use my common sense. And I don't want one of them within 2 meters of me. I don't. I don't want them invading my space. They're sexually depraved. The things I've heard from this guy that deals with gang stalking, what these narcissistic, evil things do to children and pets as well. Because we've got no police, no judicial system, they're getting away with it. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1997, the Globe Theatre in London reopened, a whopping 350 years after it closed. To celebrate, why not ask me to give you a Shakespearean insult?
Alexa, give me a Shakespearean insult.
Thine face is not worth sunburning.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Thursday the 12th of June.
Alexa, what is the weather outlook?
Right now in Rochester, it's 18 degrees Celsius with mostly sunny skies. Today's forecast has partly sunny weather, with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 14 degrees. Also, there's a yellow warning for thunderstorms in effect from Friday 13th of June, 3 p.m. to Saturday 14th of June, 6 a.m.
Well, guys, remember tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What's grey and wobbly? A jellyfant.
And Alexa, which celebrities were born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 12th of June include George H.W. Bush, Jordan Peterson, Anne Frank, Dave Franco, and Philippe Coutinho.
So guys, it's okay for people to speak about me, humiliate me and call me names, but as soon as you start, stating your opinion on other people, that's wrong. So they can call me what they like. They can come into my live streams, belittle me, call me names. TikTok allows it. And as soon as you defend yourself, you get banned from live streaming anyway. And after I had my ban lifted and I went back in, there was people live streaming swearing. Told you one woman took her tits out, her breasts. Oh, they accidentally fell out. And thousands of people saw them. They're just exhibitionists, aren't they? They're sexual freaks. You accidentally let your tits out of your top. It was an accident. So you're fiddling with your bra and your pieces in the middle of a live stream. Yeah, really. Exhibitionist, narcissistic, selfish. God knows who was watching. They could be scarred for life seeing that. I'll never forget it. And I'm a woman. And I'm really not interested in seeing another woman's pair of jugs. And that was TikTok. They are just overtly sexual. And they tease you. I haven't had a relationship for 8 years. Yeah? I told you someone spread it out about that I'm a prostitute and a hoe at the grand old age of 56. I can't have a relationship, but you know, I've got these women, when men walk past, you know, So it's alright to shag hundreds of men, but I can't have a relationship. So I'd rather be single and have no relationship at all and no sex than get a sexually transmitted disease from one of them. What normal person lets their tits hang out in front of people? Would you ever dream of walking down the street and letting your tits hang out? Letting your cock fall out? That's what they do out there to me. At my old address, this is no word of a lie, I was looking out the window. Where I used to live, it was renowned for prostitution, and they used to fuck each other down the alleyway. So you'd have a woman giving head to a bloke, and I'd be looking out the window at night, 10, 11 o'clock at night, pitch black, especially in the winter evenings, and the view was a woman going down on a man, or men, fiddling around with a woman down the alleyway. And that's what was the view out of my window at that place. And the drugs, ecstasy, heroin, just off their heads all the time, not knowing what they're doing. Angry as well, violence because of drugs. And there was children in that building, children in the flats. Just drugs, sex, whoring. That's all I saw every day. But that was the view outside my window of my old property. It was just disgusting. And I don't fit in, because I just don't fit in with them. And they try to do it to me when I'm on the field outside, and I'm not having none of it. Don't want it. Sex is lovely in a good, happy relationship. Right? It's fantastic. Sleeping around, you're just going to get fucking crabs of fucking diseases. Because they ain't clean. And they sleep around with multiple people. You're just going to get dirty, get something wrong with you. I've never felt so clean in my life. 8 years, free of it. My ex was filthy. He stank. He didn't wash. He didn't even wipe his ass with toilet paper. He wiped his ass on his t-shirt. I'm free of it, and I'm not going back. Now I'm going to get on with the rest of my day, and I suggest they leave me alone, because everything is going to get reported to the police until they fucking do something. See you later.